Arun Arulampulam is officially the mayor of Hartford. All eyes are on the next steps he will take in that role, how it will affect the folks living and working in the city. Joining us now to talk about that is Dan Haar, the senior editor and columnist at Hearst Connecticut Media. Dan, thanks for being here. So what comes now for Arun Arulampulam? What do you expect?
Tonight they celebrate. Tomorrow they wake up in a city that has about 40% of its residents who are ages 14 to 26 who are disconnected from the system, a city that is more than any other city in Connecticut, essentially a 50 to 55% ward of the state. That is the cost of Hartford, and even then the budget doesn't balance. A city that has a rising art scene. There's bright sides and there's some tough spots. The main issue that this incoming mayor needs to do is re-engage the city. He won with just over 2,000 votes in the election that mattered, the Democratic primary. That's less than the losing candidate in Wallingford, for example. Crazy, right? They've got to re-engage the city, and that's, I think, the major challenge across the board for this mayor.
What do you expect to see first from the new administration?
Well, I think that Mayor, he is the mayor. Mayor Arulampulam, he got used to saying that, he's got to get out to the neighborhoods and be the mayor walking around the way he was the candidate walking around, trying to get people re-engaged. The biggest problem in Hartford is not the budget and it's not jobs, it's engagement. It's getting people moving forward in their lives and in the public life of the city. And that's the job of the mayor, because remember, it's a city council that has a lot of the legislative work that's done in the city of Hartford.
Well, today Governor Lamont was highlighting the importance of railways in our state, and I know as someone who's taken lots of trains now that are easier from Hartford to New York City, he took a train ride from Hartford to Meriden. What's the importance of that ride and the role that trains are going to play in the transportation system?
Well, I think there are two things. The first is the Hartford, it's actually Springfield to New Haven train rail. It's largely Amtrak, but it's also CT rail. That's the commuter rail, is getting probably hundreds of millions of dollars out of the $2 billion federal infrastructure money to really beef that up. And they're going to try and get more people riding and try and get more trains running. That's the first thing. The second is transit-oriented development, in which you incentivize with money developers to build apartments near train stations in places like Meriden, where the governor stopped today.
Yeah, hey, make it easier to get there. People will come. Dan Haar, thanks for being here. He writes about politics for Hearst Connecticut Media. And of course, you can read Dan's columns on ctinsider.com, in the New Haven Register, Connecticut Post, Middletown Press, and the other local Hearst newspapers. I've actually enjoyed